Welcome to my channel StarWire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. In the glittering, gossip-drenched world of Hollywood, where whispers become headlines and rumors spread faster than wildfire through the hills of Beverly, sometimes, just sometimes, a star says exactly what needs to be said. And when 21-year-old Jenna Ortega, Netflix's Wednesday queen, the dark princess of Gen Z entertainment, finally broke her silence about one of the most bizarre dating rumors to ever plague Tinseltown, she didn't need a publicist, she didn't need a carefully crafted statement, and she certainly didn't need paragraphs of explanation. She needed just 5 words. 5 words that would slice through months of speculation, shut down the gossip industrial complex, and remind us all why this rising star has become one of Hollywood's most authentic voices. But before we get to those game-changing 5 words, we need to dive deep into the swirling vortex of celebrity chaos that led us here. Because this story, it's stranger than fiction. It's late 2023, and the internet is doing what the internet does best, creating drama out of thin air. The target? 2 of Hollywood's most talked-about stars. On one side, we have Jenna Ortega, fresh off her career-defining performance as Wednesday Addams. Riding the wave of Netflix success, her dance moves still echoing through TikTok feeds worldwide. She's young, she's talented, she's mysterious, and she's fiercely private about her personal life. On the other side, Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean legend, Tim Burton's longtime collaborator, a man whose career has weathered more storms than his fictional Captain Jack Sparrow ever sailed through. At 61, with decades of Hollywood experience and a very public legal battle behind him, Depp represents old Hollywood mystique in an age of social media transparency. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth did these 2 completely different stars, separated by 40 years and entirely different career trajectories, become the subject of dating rumors? The answer lies in the shadowy world of anonymous celebrity gossip, where truth and fiction dance together like characters in a Tim Burton fever dream. The rumors began, as they often do, with a whisper, an anonymous tip to Doomois, that notorious celebrity gossip Instagram account that has become the modern equivalent of old Hollywood's rumor mills. Someone, somewhere, claimed they had inside information about a secret romance between the Wednesday star and the Pirates legend. The internet, hungry for fresh celebrity content, devoured the story whole. But here's where it gets truly wild. The rumor didn't just claim they were casually dating. Oh no, that would be too simple for the Hollywood gossip machine. The alleged tip suggested they were in a serious relationship, that Ortega herself had supposedly made statements asking fans to leave them alone, painting a picture of a couple trying to hide their love from the prying eyes of the public. Articles began sprouting like mushrooms after rain. Entertainment blogs picked up the story, each adding their own spin, their own anonymous sources, their own fabricated quotes. The rumor gained momentum, rolling through social media feeds and entertainment news cycles like an unstoppable force. And then came the detail that made this story particularly insidious. Publications began attributing quotes to Jenna Ortega herself. Quotes she had never said, words she had never spoken. A fictional narrative built around a very real person's supposedly very private relationship. Imagine being Jenna Ortega in this moment. You're 21 years old, at the peak of your career breakthrough, focused on your craft, your art, your carefully curated privacy. You've made it clear in interviews that you prefer to keep your romantic life out of the spotlight, understanding that in Hollywood, your personal relationships can overshadow your professional achievements faster than you can say action. And suddenly, you're supposedly in a secret relationship with a man 40 years your senior, a man you've never even worked with, never even met. Your name is being dragged through headlines, your supposed quotes are being dissected by strangers on the internet, and your coworkers are starting to ask questions. Because that's exactly what happened. Picture this scene. Jenna Ortega is on set, probably focused on her lines, her character development, the intricate work that goes into creating believable, compelling performances. She's in her element, surrounded by the cast and crew who've become her temporary family, when one of her co-stars approaches with that particular expression that says, "We need to talk." The conversation probably went something like this. "So, you and Johnny Depp? Can you imagine?" The awkwardness, the confusion, the moment when you realize that the internet has created an entire fictional reality around your life, complete with relationship dynamics you've never experienced and quotes you've never uttered. For months, Jenna remained silent. And honestly, that silence was strategic. In the age of social media, where every celebrity tweet becomes breaking news, where every Instagram story is analyzed for hidden meaning, sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. But silence, as we've learned in the digital age, can be interpreted as confirmation. The lack of denial became, in some corners of the internet, a tacit admission. Fan communities began forming around this fictional relationship. Photo evidence was manufactured through clever editing. The story took on a life of its own, fed by the very absence of contradiction. This is the modern celebrity paradox. Speak up, and you're feeding the rumor mill. Stay silent, and your silence becomes complicity. It's a game with no winning moves, a maze with no exit, unless you find the perfect moment and the perfect words to cut through the noise entirely. And that moment came in August 2024, in the most unlikely of settings. Not on a red carpet, not through a formal statement from her representatives, not in a glossy magazine interview designed to control the narrative. It came during a BuzzFeed puppy interview. Yes, you heard that right. Surrounded by adorable puppies, in what was meant to be a lighthearted, fun video segment, Jenna Ortega was asked about the craziest rumor she'd ever heard about herself. The interviewer probably expected something innocuous, maybe a funny story about mistaken identity or a harmless celebrity mix-up. Instead, they got Hollywood truth-telling at its finest. Jenna looked directly into the camera, with the kind of clarity and directness that has made her one of her generation's most compelling performers, and said, probably that I was in a serious relationship with Johnny Depp, and I wanted everybody to leave us alone. And then came the 5 words that would shut down months of speculation. 5 words delivered with the perfect combination of disbelief, frustration, and subtle humor that could only come from someone who had watched this fictional narrative spiral completely out of control. It's so insane to me. 5 words. That's it. No lengthy explanations, no detailed denials, no finger-pointing at specific publications or gossip accounts. Just pure, unfiltered reaction to the absurdity of it all. It's so insane to me. But she wasn't finished. In true Jenna Ortega fashion, direct, honest, unafraid to call out the industry's problematic practices, she continued, "Like I never spoke on that. I never said anything like that. Articles really do just make up their own quotes." And there it is, the heart of the issue. In our digital age, where clicks equal revenue and engagement trumps accuracy, the line between reporting and creative writing has become dangerously blurred. Publications were literally putting words in her mouth, creating quotes from thin air, building entire narratives around statements she had never made. Think about the implications here. This isn't just celebrity gossip. This is a young woman's reputation being manipulated by faceless entities creating content for profit. It's her name being attached to relationships, statements, and situations she never participated in. It's the commodification of her identity without her consent. But here's what makes Jenna's response so powerful. She didn't just deny the rumors. She exposed the entire system that creates them. By specifically calling out the fact that articles make up their own quotes, she pulled back the curtain on how modern celebrity gossip actually operates. It's not investigative journalism. It's not even traditional rumor mongering, where whispers and speculation are at least acknowledged as such. It's the active creation of fictional content presented as fact, complete with fabricated quotes designed to give the illusion of authenticity. The response was immediate and definitive. Social media exploded with support for Jenna's honesty. Fans praised her for calling out fake news in the entertainment industry. Other celebrities began sharing their own experiences with fabricated quotes and fictional relationships. But perhaps most importantly, the Johnny Depp dating rumors died instantly. 5 words, "It's so insane to me," accomplished what months of silence couldn't. They cut through the noise with surgical precision, leaving no room for interpretation, no space for continued speculation. What makes this moment particularly fascinating is how it reflects the evolving relationship between celebrities and media in 2024. Gone are the days when stars needed to issue formal statements through publicists or entertainment reporters. Jenna chose her moment, her platform, her words, and delivered her message directly to her audience. The setting, a puppy interview, was perfect in its casualness. It suggested that this wasn't a calculated PR move, but rather an authentic moment of frustration finally finding expression. The puppies provided the perfect metaphor. Innocent, playful creatures in contrast to the vicious nature of celebrity gossip culture. And let's talk about Jenna's broader approach to privacy and fame. This young woman has consistently demonstrated a maturity beyond her years when it comes to managing her public image. She's spoken openly about her desire to keep her romantic life private, explaining to Vanity Fair that she worries public relationships would eclipse her work. This isn't about being secretive or mysterious for the sake of intrigue. It's about protecting the space where art is created, where personal growth happens, where a young woman can figure out who she is without the entire world weighing in on her choices. In an industry that often treats young actresses as commodities, where their dating lives become more scrutinized than their craft, where their value is often measured by their relationships rather than their talent, Jenna's stance is revolutionary. She's essentially saying, my work speaks for itself. My art is what matters. My private life is mine. The Johnny Depp rumor situation perfectly encapsulates why this boundary is so crucial. When publications can literally invent relationships, create fictional quotes, and build entire narratives around someone's personal life, the need for privacy isn't just personal preference, it's self-preservation. It's worth noting that Johnny Depp, through his representatives, also denied these rumors when they first surfaced. But the fact that both parties had to address something that never existed in the first place highlights the bizarre power of modern gossip culture. Anonymous tips become reports. Reports become confirmed relationships. And suddenly, two people who have never even met are supposedly asking for privacy in their serious relationship. The ripple effects of this incident extend far beyond just Jenna and Johnny. Other young celebrities have started speaking more openly about fabricated stories and invented quotes. The conversation about media responsibility in the digital age has intensified. The line between entertainment reporting and creative fiction is being more clearly drawn. But perhaps most importantly, Jenna's response has become a template for how to handle fake news in the celebrity sphere. Don't ignore it until it grows too big to contain. Don't give it more power than it deserves with lengthy, detailed responses. Find the right moment, use the right words, and cut it off at the source. It's so insane to me. 5 words that every celebrity dealing with fabricated stories probably wishes they had thought of first. It's dismissive without being cruel. It's clear without being defensive. It's final without being overly dramatic. The aftermath has been fascinating to watch. The gossip accounts that originally spread the rumors have moved on to other targets. The publications that ran fabricated quotes have quietly removed them or buried them in the depths of their archives. The internet has collectively moved on to newer, shinier rumors. But Jenna's moment of truth-telling has remained. It's become a cultural reference point, a perfect example of how to shut down false narratives with honesty and precision. It's been shared, quoted, and celebrated as a masterclass in celebrity communication. What's particularly beautiful about this entire situation is how it showcases Jenna's growth as a public figure. From her breakthrough as Wednesday Addams, a character who also doesn't suffer fools gladly and speaks truth with unflinching directness, to her real-life response to Hollywood nonsense, there's a consistency of character that's rare in the entertainment industry. She's not playing a role when she calls out fake news. She's not performing when she demands privacy. She's simply being authentically herself. A young woman who wants to be known for her craft, not for fictional relationships created by strangers on the internet. In a world where celebrity culture often feels manufactured, where authenticity is marketed and genuine moments are choreographed, Jenna's five-word shutdown represents something precious. Real reaction to real frustration about real problems in the industry she works in. It's a reminder that behind the glitz and glamour, behind the red carpets and magazine covers, behind the carefully curated Instagram posts and professional photo shoots, there are real people dealing with the very surreal experience of having their lives discussed, dissected, and often completely invented by strangers. The Johnny Depp dating rumor saga is now a closed chapter, but its lessons continue to resonate. It's a case study in how quickly false information spreads, how easily fictional quotes become real news, and how powerful the truth can be when it's delivered at exactly the right moment in exactly the right way. Jenna Ortega didn't just shut down a rumor. She exposed an entire system of manufactured celebrity content. She didn't just deny a fake relationship. She reclaimed her narrative from the forces trying to write it for her. She didn't just protect her privacy. She demonstrated how to do so with grace, humor, and unwavering authenticity. And she did it all with 5 perfectly chosen words that cut through months of speculation like a blade through silk. It's so insane to me. In Hollywood, where image is everything and perception often becomes reality, sometimes the most radical act is simply telling the truth. Jenna Ortega reminded us all that behind every rumor is a real person. Behind every headline is a human being, and behind every fabricated quote is someone whose actual words are far more powerful than anything the gossip machine could ever invent. The next time you see a wild celebrity rumor spreading across your social media feeds, remember Jenna's lesson. Remember that sometimes the most outrageous stories are simply that, stories. And remember that the truth, when it finally emerges, often arrives not with fanfare and drama, but with simple, honest words that remind us of the real people behind the celebrity personas. If you loved hearing about Jenna's iconic moment of truth-telling, make sure to show some love by hitting that like button. Seriously, it helps us bring you more of these deep dives into Hollywood's most fascinating moments. And drop a comment below. What's the wildest celebrity rumor you've ever heard? Have you ever seen a star shut down gossip this perfectly? We love reading your thoughts and stories. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell, because we're always uncovering the real stories behind Hollywood's biggest headlines. From celebrity scandals to heartwarming industry moments, we've got all the insider details you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, keep questioning what you read, celebrating authentic voices like Jenna's. And remember, sometimes the truth really is stranger than fiction. Catch you in the next video, where we'll be diving into another celebrity story that proves reality is always more interesting than rumor.